Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. For years now, the tech world has been totally obsessed with building AI that crunches just enormous amounts of data to land on one single, hyper-accurate answer. But as incredibly powerful as these systems are, they are missing an absolutely crucial, fundamentally biological survival trait, and that trait is self-doubt. We're going to unpack exactly why baking self-doubt into artificial intelligence is the critical next step for the future of technology, why the current trajectory of just throwing more data at the problem might not actually be enough, and how a completely different mathematical approach is already changing the game.
Start by thinking about this. Have you ever noticed how today's large language models actually operate? You ask a question, and it gives you this absolute answer, with unwavering authority. It sounds incredibly smart, incredibly sure of itself, right? Even when it's completely hallucinating facts out of thin air. And the funny thing is, if you push back and say, "No, wait, I think you're wrong," the system often just instantly flip-flops and says, "Oh, sorry, yes, I was wrong." It doesn't actually stand its ground based on any sort of reasoning. It just confidently bluffs.
So, Section 1, the overconfidence problem. To really understand this, we have to separate two concepts, correctness and confidence. They are definitely not the same thing. Over a decade ago, researchers discovered this wild adversarial attack, where they could take a picture of a regular school bus and modify just a few pixels. To a human brain, it's completely imperceptible. We still just see a normal school bus. But you feed that slightly altered image to a neural network, and it confidently declares, "That's a cheetah." In fact, it's 99% sure it's a cheetah. It can be fooled so easily, which tells us that it's not just correctness we need to care about, but how the machine measures its own confidence. We absolutely do not want systems that are overconfidently wrong. Because true intelligence, well, that means knowing the actual limits of your own knowledge.
And this becomes absolutely vital when we move away from chatbots and into high-stakes, real-world environments. Think about self-driving cars. A self-driving car is trained on millions of miles of everyday, boring driving data. But the real world is chaotic. It has what we call a long tail of highly unusual, rare scenarios. Imagine a horse suddenly jumping out in front of the car during a freak hailstorm. The car's AI has almost certainly never been trained for that exact scenario. If it's overconfident, it might just misclassify the horse as, say, a bicycle and make a dangerous maneuver. What we actually want is a system with enough self-awareness to realize, hey, I've never seen this before. My uncertainty is really high right now, so I should just slow down.
Moving on to Section 2, modeling human uncertainty.
Cognitive scientists and pioneers like Zoubin Ghahramani have spent decades studying how human intelligence and biology solve this exact problem. Think about how we navigate the world. Our sensing of the environment is inherently uncertain. Imagine you're hiking deep in the jungle in Costa Rica and you suddenly hear rustling leaves. Through evolution, your brain is hardwired to instantly combine that new perceptual information with your prior beliefs. You know there are jaguars in Costa Rica, whereas if you heard that exact same rustling sound in a park in London, you just assume it was a squirrel. Your brain is unconsciously using probabilistic inference to assess the threat. Our very survival depends on this intuitive ability to weigh uncertainty.
Now, what's really interesting here is how we can mathematically boil all these vague biological feelings of doubt down to actual probabilities. In computer science, a bit of information is literally defined as the reduction of uncertainty by a factor of 2. We gather information specifically to reduce our uncertainty. If we can take these vague feelings of doubt and map them onto solid math, well then, we can use the rules of probability theory to constantly update an AI's state of knowledge.
Which brings us to Section 3, the detective and Bayes' rule.
This is the elegant mathematical solution that links evidence and unknowns together to update beliefs over time. Let's walk through a classic whodunit analogy to perfectly illustrate how Bayes' rule actually works in practice. Okay, step 1. You have your prior belief. Let's say there's several suspects, but the butler is looking pretty suspicious. You represent that belief as a probability. Then, step 2, you observe some brand new evidence. You find the murder weapon hidden in the pantry. Step 3, you mathematically multiply your prior belief by this new evidence to get what's called your posterior belief. You've just logically updated your probability of who the culprit is. As more evidence arrives, you just rinse and repeat. It's exactly how humans logically update their minds, just formalized into a neat equation.
And this brilliantly illustrates why current language models aren't really reasoning. Today's models don't actually calculate Bayes' rule. They do what's called next token prediction. They've read trillions of words on the internet, so they're incredibly good at mimicking human reasoning and just guessing what word should come next. But they are essentially faking it. It's like trying to build a calculator by just showing it millions of examples of addition, instead of teaching it the actual underlying rules of math. If you give it numbers it hasn't seen together before, it fails.
We don't want a machine that just fakes calculation. We want one that explicitly computes its own certainty.
Section 4. Self-doubt in action. Let's look at the real world.
Applying this Bayesian self-doubt isn't just some abstract theory. It's revolutionizing cutting-edge AI right now. Take weather forecasting, which is inherently chaotic. Google DeepMind developed a model called GenCast that can predict global weather 15 days out, and it does it in just 8 minutes. How? Well, it doesn't just run one prediction. It generates a whole ensemble of forecasts to track something like a tropical storm, creating this entire probability distribution of possible paths. It mathematically acknowledges that its sensors are flawed and that the weather is chaotic. The delightfully counterintuitive fact here is that explicitly adding uncertainty into the system actually makes its final predictions far more accurate.
Or look at biology. AlphaFold is famously solving one of biology's grandest challenges, protein folding. But it succeeds precisely because it embraces uncertainty. The physics of proteins mean that some parts of the molecule naturally wiggle around a lot more than others. AlphaFold literally color codes its predictions based on how sure the model is about a specific fold. It visually represents its own uncertainty about how physics will act in the real world.
And this level of honesty is absolutely critical for life-or-death applications. Imagine a near future where doctors are relying on AI to help diagnose complex symptoms. If that machine is perfectly confident 100% of the time, that is incredibly dangerous. It absolutely must be able to clearly convey its uncertainty to the human doctor because that directly determines the treatment plan. To be a reliable tool, the machine must be completely honest about its limits.
Finally, Section 5, Beyond Pure Scale.
Right now, there is a massive debate in the tech industry regarding how we ultimately achieve AGI, or artificial general intelligence. There are roughly 2 camps. The first camp believes in pure scale. Just throw more data and more compute power at the current models, and eventually they're going to figure everything out. But the second camp, where researchers like Zoubin Ghahramani said, argues that while scale has worked wonders so far, it has major limits when stretched into that long tail of unusual scenarios we talked about. To get true intelligence, we likely require a completely new mathematical architecture, one that bakes in uncertainty and probability at its very foundation.
The differences are really stark when you compare biology to current AI. Humans and animals practice continual learning. We constantly adapt to new streams of data without forgetting the old stuff. Current AI, on the other hand, suffers from catastrophic forgetting, meaning you have to train a whole new giant model from scratch every few months. And energy? A human brain runs on about 20 watts, which is basically a dim light bulb. Current AI requires massive, energy-hungry data centers. Using Bayesian updating, where an AI continuously updates its beliefs based on new evidence, could mathematically solve both of these massive flaws, allowing machines to learn continuously while vastly improving their terrible energy and data efficiency.
Which brings us to this really powerful thought from Zoubin Ghahramani. I would rather have an AI system that knows when it doesn't know than an AI system that is arrogant and overconfident. Humility isn't a vulnerability. It doesn't make an AI weaker. Understanding its own limitations is actually a fundamental, foundational quality of true, robust intelligence.
By teaching AI to embrace uncertainty, we give it a uniquely human wisdom, the capacity to doubt. So I'll leave you with this. We've spent years building models that try to be perfect know-it-alls. But how will our day-to-day collaboration with AI change when machines finally learn to doubt themselves? When they stop bluffing and start being honest about what they don't know, we won't just have a smarter tool. We'll have a collaborator we can actually trust. Thanks for exploring this with me, and keep questioning the certainty around you.